Good morning, everyone. It's a little bit more quiet today because it's December. You know, everyone has their plans going on, but the ones coming in, you know, they're hardworking birds, and we still want updates on market. So here today with me is Leon Hui from ACG Funding. He will be giving us the updates on the mortgage markets, predictions, and so on for the final time in 2025. All right, so take it away.
Okay, thank you, CK.
I'll help you out.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Leon. I'm an officer from ACG Funding. Very happy to be here today. It's good to see you guys every month. Today is the last meeting of this month, or actually of this year. So I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the accomplishments that you guys saw this year. It's been a tough year. I know. Ever since the President Trump announced the tariff in April, the market started shifting, right? Starting getting very challenging. But it's okay. We all got through it, and the market is very normal. The market sometimes can be up, can be down. Personally, I'm very looking forward to making the new year, of course, prosperous New Year's with you guys again. Okay, so let me go ahead and start. First, we talk about rates. Okay, so for 2025, this year, the Federal Reserve cut rates twice. The first time was in September. The second time was in October. Each time, 25 basis points. So far this year, they have cut 50 basis points in total. Comparing to last year, they cut 100 basis points. So they are slowing down the pace of cutting the rates. 50 basis points versus last year, 100 basis points. And the federal funds rate, currently 3.75 to 4%. Okay, I explained this. I talked about this last time in our last meeting. The rate that the Federal Reserve cut is not mortgage rate. It's a federal funds rate. I want to make sure that you guys remember this. Okay. Very important number, inflation rate. Currently still 3%. Well, the goal for the Federal Reserve is 2%. So we are still 1% away from our goal. The inflation is still high. Another very, very, very important number, unemployment rate. Currently 4.4%. Last month, when I was here, it was 4.3. So it actually went up during the last month, meaning more people lost their jobs. Okay, those are the rates for today. Based on the scenario of 40% down payment, buying a primary residence, FICO score 800, and the property type is single family residence. Based on those factors and based on today's market, those are the rates. So as you can see, the 30-year fix has been staying around 6% for a very long time. Sometimes high fives, sometimes low six. It's been around 6% for a long time. Today we have a high five, 5.75. And those are the rates for today. Yeah, many of it.
You say 40% down.
Yeah. It's a better scenario. Yeah, depends. I mean, different people have different qualification, different situations. So I'm just giving you a best scenario just for reference. Okay, many of you guys must be wondering, hey, when are they gonna cut a rate again? Right? That's what we are curious about. That's what we want to know. Well, the next meeting, for the Federal Reserve is going to take place, going to happen next week, December 9th and the 10th, which is next Tuesday and Wednesday. They are going to announce at that time. However, the problem, what's been happening within the Federal Reserve internally, within those officials, is they have been arguing. The rates, the opinions regarding the rate cuts are very divided. Half of them feel like, hey, we should cut it. Half of them feel like, we shouldn't cut it. They have been arguing about it. The reason why they are arguing about it is because the economy data we have is very, well, it doesn't give us a clear path what we should do. The numbers are conflicting with each other. So it's hard to make a decision, especially those two numbers, labor market, the employment rate, and the inflation. Here's why. I keep talking about those two numbers in every meeting. I bring it up every meeting. It's because those two numbers are pretty much the most important numbers they have to evaluate, they have to use every time when they are making the decisions on the rate cuts, those two numbers. So the problem that we have right now is the inflation is 3%. However, the goal is 2%, right? So the inflation is still high. When the inflation is high, what do? We increase the rate to fight the inflation, right? We increase rate, we increase the costs for borrowing money to fight inflation. If the cost for borrowing money is high, then people no longer borrow. They don't borrow, they don't spend, they don't invest. So the inflation can gradually go down. However, if we do this, what we will have to compromise, what we will have to sacrifice simultaneously is what? Economy. It's going to hurt the economy, right? Because people don't borrow, people don't spend, people don't invest. So the economy is slow, business is slow. When the business is slow, what's going to happen? The business owners are going to start laying off people, right? So the unemployment rate is going to go up. So actually, those two numbers are contradictory. Those two numbers are conflicting with each other. So the hardest job for the Federal Reserve currently to do is that they have to find a balance point between those two numbers. I have to increase rate to fight inflation. At the same time, I need to maintain a low level of unemployment rates. If the inflation rate is high, I gotta keep the rates high. But if I keep the rates high, more people are gonna lose their job. We don't want to see that. So it's a very hard decision for them to make. That's what they have been arguing about it. The inflation is still very high. However, more and more people are losing jobs. So they gotta sacrifice either lower the rates, bring more jobs back. However, the inflation rate is gonna be high. Or keep fighting the inflation, but we're gonna lose more jobs. So it's very contradictory. And more importantly, during the last meeting in October, the chairman said one thing. I talked about this last month. A further reduction in the policy rate at the December meeting is not a foregone conclusion, far from it. So the chairman from the Federal Reserve already gave us a hint 1 month ago, 2 months ago. Most likely, they are not going to cut rates in December, next month, next week. So well, I could be wrong, but personally, I think that's it for this year. 50 basis points cut in total. Yeah, they won't cut it next week. Let's see. Okay, very, very good news. Very big news, good news. California Dream for All coming back. I'm pretty sure everybody here has heard about it. Do you guys know? Does anyone here not know what this is? Raise your hand, please. California Dream for All. Oh, you don't know? Okay, 2. Okay, that's fine. That's why I'm here. So California Dream for All is a down payment assistance program from the California state government. So what does it do? That it offers the first-time home buyers up to either 20% down payment assistance or $150,000 down payment assistance, whichever is lower. The money can be used towards a down payment or closing costs, however you want to. Okay. For example, if the purchase price, if the house price is $1 million, what's the maximum can the borrower get from government? Thank you. Thank you. You guys are very smart. What about $500,000? If the purchase price is $500,000, what's the maximum can the borrower get? $100,000 exactly. Cool. Whichever is lower. Yeah. Okay, and the program can be used for buying any property in California. So there's no any city restrictions, no any county restrictions. As long as the property is located in California, then the property is qualified. Very broad, very generous, very easy to qualify. And it can be any property type: single family house, condo, townhouse, attached, detached, even manufactured home can be applied to it. Again, very, very flexible. Random selection process. So here is how it works. Basically, we talk to the client first. We review their documents, we run numbers, we do the calculations for them, we pre-approve them first. After we send them the pre-approval letter, what they will do is that they will go online. They can go ahead, go online to submit and register a voucher before the deadline. As long as they can register the voucher before the deadline, then everybody will have an equal chance to be selected by the government. After the deadline passes, the government is going to do a random selection. So it's not first come, first serve. Everybody will have an equal chance to be selected. During the last 2 rounds, last year, I have some clients who were luckily, fortunately, got selected. Okay, you must be wondering, hey, it's free money? Yeah. Well, I wish it's not free. Okay. So in the future, when you sell the property, or the title of the property transfers, or if the loan has been paid off, or you refinance the loan, that's the time you have to pay back to the government. The original amount plus a percentage of the appreciation value. So basically, when you are buying the property, the government is kind of like an investor. They are investing on the property with you together. In the future, when you sell the property, when you make a profit from selling, the government as an investor can get a share of the profit and cut a share. Okay, it's reasonable, makes sense. Okay, eligibility. What's the requirement? Who can be qualified? First, all borrowers must be first-time home buyers. All borrowers, husband, wife, father, mother, son, daughter, everybody has to be first-time home buyers. Does anyone know how to define first-time home buyers? Who can be considered as first-time home buyers? First-time home buyers.
They will own the property.
They currently don't own a property. That's it? Exactly, within the last 3 years. Okay. So it does not have to be your first house ever in your entire life. No. As long as you don't own a house during the past 3 years, you can be considered as a first-time home buyer. So for example, if you bought a house 10 years ago, you sold it 7 years ago, you are still considered a first-time home buyer. Okay. Second requirement, one borrower must be a first-generation home buyer. One borrower, just one borrower. Like for example, husband and wife, only one of them has to satisfy this. Does anyone know what first-generation home buyer means? Who can be considered as first-generation home buyer? The parents don't have a house. Okay. What if the parents already passed away? Okay, 3 requirements. First of all, yourself, borrower, has to be first-time home buyer. You don't own any house, right? Yourself. Second, the parents currently don't own any house in this country, in the United States. Third rule, if your parents already passed away, at the time when they passed away, they didn't own any house. Those 3 rules. If you can satisfy those 3 rules, you can be considered a first-generation home buyer. 3 rules. Okay. It's fine as long as it's not in this country. Yeah. Okay. One borrower must be current resident of California. Very fair, right? If you have been living, working in New York City, and all of a sudden you saw this program, you want to take advantage of it. No, you can't. You got to be a Californian who pays a state tax. Right? You got to be living here. You got to be resident of California. Then you can qualify. Next, must be owner-occupied primary residence, 1 unit property. Makes sense, right? If you want assistance from the government, you gotta be the one who will be living in the property. It gotta be your home, and it has to be 1 unit. It can't be like 4 units. You live in 1 unit and you rent out other 3. It can't be like that. Okay, and it cannot be a rental property. It has to be your home for your primary needs. Last requirement, also most importantly, the income must meet the income limits for the county which you are purchasing. So don't worry too much about it. The best part for this program is that the income limits are very high, are very generous. So unless you make a lot of money, otherwise, usually for most of people, they can qualify. The income won't go beyond the limits. Yeah, the income limits are kind of high. So just some personal thoughts about this program. You know what, to be honest, there are a lot of down payment assistance programs out there. Some of them are from LA County, from LA City, from San Bernardino County, from Ontario City. There are a lot of similar programs out there. However, this one, based on my personal experience, this one is the easiest, is the best. For the other programs out there, to be honest with you guys, it's extremely hard to qualify. Yeah. The thing is, everybody wants free money, and the government is not stupid. They know you are trying to take manager. They know what game you are playing. So when they were creating those programs, they were making the the guidelines very strict and precise. They want to make sure the money is given to the people who really need help. There's no any loopholes. So maybe only 1 out of 100 people can qualify. However, for this program, it's the easiest I've ever seen. The income limits are very high. There's no any area restrictions and no any property type restrictions. The guidelines is very broad and generous, very flexible. So most people can qualify. And the most important thing I want to talk about today is this program, based on my personal experience, can be a very good content for your marketing. Yeah. So I highly recommend you guys go back home, do some research, and talk about it on your social media platforms, YouTube channel, Little Red Notebook, Xiaohongshu, or WeChat, or whatever platforms. Everybody wants free money. This is gonna bring you a lot of leads for sure. Yeah, based on my experience. Every time when I talk about something about free money, government subsidies, or down payment assistance, I get a lot of leads. So I'm pretty sure you guys will get leads as well. However, I mean, the quality of the leads might not be good, but it's okay. We call this 养鱼, right? We collect the fish, we feed the fish. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe 3 months, half year, 1 year later. Someone's gonna call you, hey, I saw your post. You know, I'm ready. Can you show me the house? So this could be a very, very good marketing tool for you guys. Okay, I guess that's it for my today. And again, I'm very looking forward to making the New Year's prosperous with you guys. And happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, okay, Central. Thank you guys. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Rob. I'm with Olsen Homes, and I am selling a community in Claremont called Descanso Walk. These are townhomes, and the main reason that I wanted to come out today is we have a few finished standing inventory homes that are ready for quick sale. We're offering agents 4% on those homes. I've already had one of Sean's friends take advantage of one just a couple days ago, which is fine. So I had left a set of floor plans, and there's a price sheet in there, and there's also a flyer with the 4% and a QR code so that you can see what we have available. If you haven't already been to an Olsen home, the thing that we're most proud of is we provide an excellent buyer experience for you and for your clients. That's our number 1 goal. We have some great incentives at this time of year. Right now, we're offering a 10,000 incentive if your buyer uses our preferred lender. But if we run into a situation where you have your own lender that's going to provide a much better rate, it's like we can always get an exception on those types of things. And the agents, myself and my partner Debbie, I mean, we're here to partner with you, and we will go to the builder and get the best deal that we can for you and your buyer. So we're happy to negotiate with them. The last sale I did, I was able to get 17,000 on a home that was already fully upgraded, and they're going to use that for closing costs, washer, dryer, fridge. A couple of our live work homes that are on that list, over 2,200 square feet, price of $768. So we're at like 354 square foot, makes a great investment. And also these are live work. So if someone has a small business, they can.
What's live work?
Live work is, so it actually has a separate entrance for the work portion, which is about 200 square feet, and then about And then there's a three-bedroom home, which is it's a three-story home. So they can do a small business like a CPA would be great, or a real estate office. Some businesses like food service or, things that wouldn't, be a good fit for the community are outlined in the CC&Rs. But you're at about 354 square foot on those homes. And
So the work portion of it is only 200 square.
about 200 square feet. And so there's actually two entrances, one to live and one to work. And they're
And then bathroom, workplace.
yes, and it is a half bath and it's ADA compliant. So you will have no issues with that. It also makes it very easy for tax purposes because it is a completely separate space. You can do signage out front. So the city of Claremont actually mandated that those be built. They're all on Foothill. All of our other floor plans, we're building 7 different floor plans, are in the back, so a little bit quieter. And, we're in Claremont, so great schools. Tax rate all in is going to be about 1.24. Base is 1.13. And then there's a levy tax. And
Does it look for, I mean, the work portion should have a separate parking area, right?
so there's actually guest parking for the business, which is designated during the day. Parking in Claremont is not excessive, so there's not a ton, but there's 4 that are set aside for the live works during the day. And then there's about 15 spaces that are guest parking throughout the community that are designated for the Descanso Walk owners. So feel free to pick up, which is that one right there. Has anyone been to Descanso Walk before? Great, good. So we'd love to have you back. I went ahead and I left a place where you can grab your business cards for a raffle. So I'll leave it up to you. I have 5 sets of gifts that are they're Starbucks cards and so forth. So however you would like to distribute them.
Oh, do you want to do this?
I was going to just pick up business cards, but I don't think anyone actually left them yet. So however you want to do it, there's 5 of them there. Does anyone have any questions?
For the workspace, can it be rented out?
So that the workspace itself cannot be rented out. You can rent out the entire home, but not just the workspace. So it's all on the same utility, and then there are some guidelines for like employees. As many people that live in the home, the employees of the business, and then you can also have one outside employee that does not live in the home. So I'll be happy to send CC&Rs that pertain to that to anybody who's interested. My contact info is on the price sheet, which is included in the floor plan.
In the past, when they developed the first generation of English work, they not sound very much. The workplace usually they design is somewhere around 600 square to 1,000 square. But that's the first generation. Then obviously when they started, they realized workplace, either by location or by whatever the reason, most of it is now adapted. So I guess Olsen has been into because there's a better need into the process. So the 200 square problems, they are actually treated as a house, but because it's a workplace, you as an individual, you can choose to write it off the business or choose to write it off your mortgage payment. The only thing you can write off house and basically is you write it on business. Mortgage payment, utility, write off everything. That's part of the reason of that. So even though it's 200 square feet, it's a house.
Yeah, it is designated as condominium. They are built as townhomes, so they're independent structures with air gap and they've done very, very well, but yes, they are technically condos. The HOA is 350. And, that's going to include the structural insurance, all of your exterior maintenance, roof, exterior landscaping. Pardon me? Insurance for the structure. Oh, sewer line, I'm sorry. The sewer line would actually be taken care of by the HOA. So just like any other conduit, just walls in that the homeowner would be responsible for. So each home has its own separate run of plumbing. So if it's within their unit, then it would be the homeowner. If it were in the actual sewer line, that would be the HOA. That's a great question. And thank you for your help.
I'm supposed to more
I've got two left. Any other questions? So it's not a gated community. It does have a gated common area. So there's a barbecue area, a little grassy area, mailboxes. That will be gated. So the front doors to the homes, like the area within the front doors, that is gated, but not a gated community.
Any like rental instruction?
So the only rental restriction on the homes is, you can't do the Airbnb, so, 30 days or longer with a lease and you're fine. So, also rentals in Claremont there's very few of them. And especially, new construction is very rare. So, your rental should be quite good, and they work quickly. There are several colleges that are in the area, just in general. People are quite fans.
That fucking.
We're about a mile and a half from the downtown. Very popular, always some type of event going on. Also, feel free to look at Olsen Homes, our website.
I'm just gonna duplicate.
It's about a mile and a half, so certainly rideable, but walking, I mean, like if you're a good walker, yeah. But yeah, so you're about a mile and a half. And also Olsen Homes, if you look on our website, they have a new community that they are just forming an interest list for in Cyprus, and Whittier will be coming up soon as well. So, like I said, at the end of the day, we are very excited to partner with you. If you have any questions, like usually, let me know. We just ask that you bring your client in on the first visit and sign the registration, and we can take it from there and just make it very simple transaction for you. Actually, that's the number for my office, and then if you look on the price sheet with the page. My direct contact information is at the bottom, and then my partner is Debbie, and we're a team, so either one is fine. But
This is the end of the year. Actually, many of the buildings are running out of their spending. Many of the buildings are running out of spending. Once they're running out of spending, we're not going to give 4%.
no. And actually, and I'm not saying this because, you know, I'm an agent, but I've actually sold new construction for about 25 years. This, I don't know. This is now one of the best times I've ever seen for buyers because of what's been happening in the marketplace, which your lender was just mentioning. It's created, you know, a slowdown, and so builders are giving the maximum incentives. And we're already starting to see it with rates starting to come down. You know, those incentives are going to slowly start going away. But one thing with Olsen Homes, we're not like the builder that we only want to partner with you when it's convenient for us. So when the market is doing great, we still want to work with you. It's just right now they are a little bit more motivated to give you and your buyers the best incentives and deals that are possible. But always think of us as a partner for you. We are happy to go to the builder and ask for the best deal that we can possibly get for you. We want to encourage you to come back and, I have several agents where anytime new specials come up and so forth, I'll just shoot them an email, let them know what's going on. And this is a good way just to kick off your year. I mean, 4% and, the lowest price. Well, we have one that's $7.99 or $6.99 rather. So, and then our lowest price live work right now is $768. That one has actually got about $60,000 worth of upgrades. So floors, lighting, cabinets, like everything, they're ready to go. So they're all, I left them in the, but here's one right here. There's a total of 56 homes that we're building. So it's just you're welcome. It's a boutique property. So just 56 homes, and this is typical of Olsen Homes. I mean, they do infill in desirable areas that are walkable. I mean, we're right next to tons of stores and so forth. So it's a small community. The Valley Collection are flats. Those are going to be released probably about second quarter. So those are single level floor plans. There's actually 3 homes in each 2-story building. So the one on the bottom will be entry to garden level, 3-bedroom plus den, optional 4th bedroom, about 1,800 square feet. And then there are 2 homes that will sit on top. So they will go up 1 flight of stairs, and then it will be 2 3-bedroom homes that will sit on top. Those are highly anticipated when you build those in other communities. So where is it? It's those were times that can happen a little bit later. Those are probably going to be mid to high 8s on those because about 1,800 square feet on the larger one, and then the others above are going to be about 1,700, 1,680 respectively.
It's perfect for somebody like I'm actually don't get your
They keep trying to get into me and I refuse. But that particular floor plan, they built in other communities. There's virtual tours online. To take a walk through my interest list on those. So if you have a client that wants to qualify, they'll have first right of refusal. And right now, not a lot of people have done that. So there's a couple of choice locations that people are eyeing. But otherwise, I'm just taking the list and I'm going to let everybody know once they decide to release it.
the reason I'm telling you, some of the sellers, they want to sell, but they don't want to work with buy. Reasonable price. So that's a very, very good option because you have the first floor, which is
Yeah. So the insulation, they do quite a bit. They're actually doing extra layer of insulation in between concrete level in between. I never saw a always very honest and upfront. It may be minimal, but I can't say it until. Now they walk heavy. It is a good opportunity for just import plans, especially in Claremont. We've done 2 other projects in Claremont in the past. The other thing I'll say too, along the lines of customer service, this is the only builder that I've ever known who they actually stay on the HOA board for a full 10 years. Once the project is, the last one is sold, they'll be there for 10 years to make sure that that community is exactly as it was intended and that the homeowners are going to receive the product that they purchased. So, one more question? Anybody? Anyone like Starbucks? I'll give more information, sure, absolutely. And then there's some, there's a whole stack of the floor plans. Anybody?
The special assessment tax.
So, the base tax is going to be 1.13, and in Claremont, there is a, levy tax, which all residents will pay, so it's about, $800. So that is going to bring you to about all in 1.24. Since this is an infill project, there's no Melrose or anything to that effect, so about 1.24. So it's actually quite good. HOA 356. And since it's a condo, then the owner would only have to get an HO6 vault in. So I'm sure you guys all have contacts, but that's simply more than like 5 seconds here. All good?
We're good.
Thank you so much for having me today.
No problem. It was all a pleasure.
Appreciate it. And I hope this year's about and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
I told you we're here for you. No, we're happy to go to the builder, and we want to get the best for your buyers as much as you do.
He doesn't care about what the builders sell. He doesn't want to get it sold.
Right?
Because whatever price, how ridiculous it is, he just submit it, that's it. So he's not gonna be working against it.
No, I'm actually going to be working for you, and I'm going to be working in the background for you as well. I have a lot of interesting conversations with the builder, and they're like, "Oh, we can't do that." I'm like, "Oh, but maybe you can," So we're pretty aggressive, Clearly, we work with the
You
builder.
don't want to sell it, that's it.
We just not sell homes. Pardon? So actually the rates are quite good. We use, our primary lenders are going to be US Bank and Wells Fargo. We also have a lender who can do non-conventional loans. Honestly, he comes back a little bit high on those. So if you're going to do stated or any program like that, we do have you complete a full application. But at the end of the day, you may have a lender that can pre-qualify and get a lower rate. That would be a situation where we can go back to the builder and still get you the incentive. But you just have to go through the process.
That's pretty commonly right now.
Buy it down rates right now. So we're doing a 10,000 incentive as the base. We'll try and negotiate more, but they can use it for whatever's going to suit your client's needs the best. So rate buy downs, prepay HOAs, like the one I just did at, the rental property. So they've got enough, they'll get a fridge, a washer, dryer, they'll prepay the HOAs for a year, they'll get closing costs. They don't, it's a touch deal. So just whatever's appropriate for your buyer. Yeah, they do have the ability to, rate buy downs are pretty big. And also, a lot of people are always fixed on the 30-year thing of, with townhomes, a lot of times it's a shorter, people aren't gonna be in them for 30 years. So they've got some real, like we did a program not too long ago that started on the first year was 2.99, went to 3.99 for the second year. And then from year 3 through 30 was 4.99. So depending on, market conditions and rates, We can put together a lot of attractive things, but just convey what's important to you and your buyer. And also right now, our commission on new builds is only 2%, but I'm always happy to try and negotiate that up for you as well. Don't know if I'll get to 4, but maybe to 3. Right now, obviously, they want to get rid of the standing inventory, so.
How many people, right?
There's, I just sold the one, so 1, 2, 3, there's 4 that are available standing right now and available for quick close.
Yeah, only 4.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the one that reserved is signed today, so we've got 8, 9, 12. And then we do have, those are the live works, and then number 17 is going to be our plan 2, which is completed. It fell out of escrow, unfortunately, before close. So that one is $699. It still has the 10,000 incentive and more if we can do it. The one thing on that home, the previous buyer was going to use it as an investment property. Didn't do any upgrades really, except we're including the solar package, which is a 2 battery system, and they've upgraded lighting and that type of thing. The builder may be open to giving me new floors because it's basically carpet and the included materials. So little things like that we can try and work on. The flats are the ones that are here in the back. So those will be coming up in mid-January. I mean, sorry, not mid-January, but mid-26. So probably second quarter. But it's just depends. So, and you also see on the price sheet the homes that are available. They've been moving through construction and maybe by upgrade as well.
So the front has
There's only 3 in each building, so there's a total of 12. 12 homes, there's 4 buildings. Really nice location on those because it's set back and it's a much quieter space back there. And those I'm sure are going to do quite well.
So here on the move down sidewalk, this will be perfect.
Yeah.
It's only shop.
The other thing that's nice about the flats is the parking is at a premium in Claremont. Those will actually allow parking in driveways as well. So potentially 4 cars for each one.
All right.
Okay.
All good.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you have a wonderful day and happy selling.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. If you haven't had the time to scan the QR code and get the meeting agenda, scan it real quick. We are going to go through and talk a little bit about real estate market. Okay, it seems like everyone's done. Let's go on. So do not be afraid when you look at this graph and there's a bunch of reds. Now, what we're going through is, and on an annual basis, 12 months at the end of the year, specifically in December, this is what you usually see. Now, we're going to go through the numbers real quick. It covers all counties, including of LA, OC, and San Bernardino counties. And we're going to talk about new listing and active listings. So very normal, new listings down by 40% in the month of November. In December, it should be going down even more. Active listings, overall, we've been seeing most of the months this year increasing active listings. Last month, we had a slight decrease. This month, we are also seeing a slight decrease. Most likely in December, we're going to see a larger decrease in active listings overall as well. So it's normal so far, the first 2 things. That's the easy ones. Pending sale and closed sale. One thing that's surprising is, at the end of the year, we're going through a slow market right now. And then 2 months ago, it was a slower market too. One thing very interesting is the pending sale this year in November is actually slightly better than the pending sale in 2024 November. So it's not going down as much as we would anticipate. There's still some activities when it comes to home buyings, even as late as November this year. What we are seeing is that the decrease in rates actually is helping when it comes to the activities, just a little bit. I don't quite have something to say. Okay. Now, that being said, month supply and median days on market. For the month supply, obviously, past 3 years, it was a lot lower, 1.5, 2.5. We see that a lot. Now, this year, we see it hit highest at 4.0. Now we're going a little bit lower at 3.7. So the listing absorption rate, when we talk about month supply, it's actually listing absorption rate, how fast the listing is getting absorbed in current market status quo. What we're seeing is month supply is going down a little bit. As we could see, there's way less listing, but pending sale is dropping just a little bit. So month supply numbers are going down. That should mean there's a little bit of activity going on even as late as November this year. Not as bad as you think is the word that I would use right now. Now, median days on market. In October, it was 28 days. In November, just a menial decrease of 1 day, making it 27 days. So home selling isn't as hard as a couple months ago, but still kind of hard. Price per square feet going up, median sale price inching down just a little bit. It's 2 straight months of median sale price decreasing. Last month, it was decreasing by 1% or so. This one is 0.4%. In December, we'll probably see it going down a little bit more. Percentage of original price. This is one of the bigger numbers with bigger changes this year that we've seen so far. It went down as low as 96% last month. Now this month is going back up a little bit, 97%. Still, that would tell you most homes are selling less than original price, original asking price. Okay? Most homes are selling less than original asking price, and by a rate of 3% differences. The home prices are still pretty good right now. Shows to contract. There needs to be a little bit more showing before your home could open escrow. Now, do not dig mine into the 3.0 meanings, showing 3 times it would sell. No, that's not how it is. This is just showing time numbers. In actuality, you got to look at the trend of it. The trend of it would show right now increased by 4.7%, where there needs to be more showing for homes to sell this month versus, in November versus October. Okay? Price reduced listing is down by 12%. There's less listings being price reduced. That also means because there's less active listings in the market. Okay? So there's always, county-specific snapshots that you would like to use in your own social media or talking to your clients. These are the information that you could use. We got LA, Orange, and San Bernardino County. That being said, we just talked about the outlook earlier. So whatever you want a little bit more details on the outlook on new listing and active listings, you can go through the individual slides. Now I'm going to scroll through this. If you missed it, it's okay, because look for Sean and Mia or scan the QR code. You have the slides yourself. Now we want to jump and talk a little bit about let's see, key takeaways. So smaller, quieter, and steady. This reflects the typical seasonal slowdown. End of the year, December, that's what we're looking at. New and active listings continue to fall. The few homes that are listed gain high visibility. So if you kind of realize this, we got a couple listings from our agents that actually they were asking me and saying, CK, this weekend, next week, it's actually Thanksgiving weekend. What should I do with my listing? Should I wait a little bit or whatever? So some of the agents actually decided to put coming soon during Thanksgiving weekend, and then official open house and active on the market on the following week. So I was asking them, so how's the traffic, the week after Thanksgiving? They say it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty okay, while being in the slower end of the year market. And now they're also receiving offers. In December, they're receiving offers that they put up on the market 2 weeks ago. There are also homes that's been on the market for a long time. And then now we are also getting a little bit more responses where buyers are actually going in and actually submitting offers in December. So don't lose hope, because, the homes that are on the market right now are actually getting some traffic, okay? Buyer traffic is low, but the buyers who remain are serious and intentional. Only truly motivated buyers remain active in December. So those who must move, job transfer, family needs, or those looking to avoid the spring rush, I would put a big star beside the spring rush, okay? Focus on qualifying leads. Every active buyer is a high probability client. The spring rush is something that is a new trend that we've been seeing for the past 2 years. A lot of buyers are deliberately focusing to buy early in the year. We're talking about January, February, just before others are going in to buy before spring. As early as December, we are seeing more and more buyers saying, hey, I want to buy in December. That's the slowest time. That's before the rush. That's when I come in. Those buyers are actually, even though it's not majority, it's still a very minority number of buyers. But those buyers, they actually want to target to buy in December. If you actually prospected clients like these are going to be good clients because they know they want to buy it during this time. They know what they're getting into. And actually, if you talk about new homes where we have, him just come in and talk about the deals, it is actually a very good deal for new homes right now too. Okay, so spring rush buyers are going to be a big point for you in this month if you still want to prospect and get buyers. Now, secondly, pricing trend is holding firm, albeit still very low, achieving around 97% of original asking price. We talk about percentage of original asking price, and the pricing trend, it's slowing. It's not going down as much anymore when it comes to second resale homes, but it's still lower than the original asking price. Okay, so this confirms the market is not distressed. It's more stable now. The small 3% gap shows that if sellers price realistically, they get close to their asking price, justify the realistic price upfront with data to avoid client disappointment. So pricing it right is very, very, very important. There seems to be less and less sellers, being super greedy. Like Mike Ferry came in earlier this year. They talk about, hey, avoid the super greedy sellers that wants to sell at a crazy price during a hot market, because it's not a hot market. We're seeing a little bit less of those kind of sellers nowadays. They kind of know, everyone kind of know market's not that great for sellers no more. They won't be thinking, I want that crazy price to sell for that maybe even sold for 6 months ago. So sellers are also getting more realistic already, okay? Price reduction have declined, though a slightly higher share of listings needed cuts compared with last year, okay? This is the clearest sign of balanced market. Sellers who test the market with aspirational pricing will need a reduction. So we're starting to see that the seller expectation of price going down, and then the need to reduce more price are cutting down more. So we're probably going to hit pretty bottom right now as far as we could see. So sellers would know this, buyer would also want to know this as well. Well-priced homes still move within a reasonable time frame, usually after only a few committed showings. This validates the core strategy: price it right, and if you sell, focus on excellent listing preparation to maximize those few committed showings. Easing off the lock-in effect. We talk about 2022, 2023, 2024. Many sellers are not willing to sell their home because they're going through this lock-in effect where they refinance their home for a very low mortgage rate, or they bought their property during that time at a very low mortgage rate. So when they want to sell and they want to upsize, downsize, or make changes, transfer, make moves, the rate right now will be substantially higher than what it was before. We're talking about you have a 2 to 3.5% rate. The rate right now could be 6 to 7 and 8 for the past few years. So many people are not willing to make any decisions, especially the ones that need to sell and buy because they already have a home at a pretty low rate. So what we're talking about right now is the easing of the lock-in effect that was a problem before. As mortgage rates stabilize and gradually decline, the payment gap between a homeowner's current low mortgage rate and a new mortgage becomes less extreme. Combined with improving rate expectations and life events that can no longer be delayed, this begins to loosen the lock-in effect. Meaning, even though it could be 5.75, like Leon just shared earlier, 30-year fixed rate mortgage, it's still higher than a 3.0, 3.5. But as year goes through, the need for the change would actually wear the lock-in effect down, meaning people eventually need to make changes. People will need to downsize, people need to upsize. They can wait for 3 years, but they can wait for 30 years or 5 years. So we're seeing a lot like that. Hence, we also see a lot of contingency property, contingency sales this year. That's one of the way that they could, sell their existing homes, not having the issue of, not having a down payment. So they do a contingency sale. So that being said, okay, combined with improving rate expectations and life events, we talk about this, a slow but steady return of motivated upsizers and downsizers, upsize clients and downsize clients, many of whom postponed moves during 2023, 2024, will contribute modest inventory from this segment. And we are already hearing from a lot of agents, you out there, giving us feedback, where most sellers are thinking, hey, I'm gonna, the plan is to, start doing some work in January, let's start to sell in, end of January, February, or March. That's what the sellers are thinking right now. Guess when they need to prepare? Right now. Guess when you need to talk to them? Yesterday. Okay? So expect the 2026 spring buying season to start early. Okay? The spring buying season, which usually is March. Before pandemic, it was usually March, April, May. We start seeing growth in the pending sale. Okay? But this year, be prepared. We're not confirming it's going to start in January 1st, 2026. But usually for the past few years, the buyer rushing in, buyer rush, it's not March anymore. It usually is February, January-ish. Okay? Be prepared to take that in. Okay? Buyers who adapted to the higher rates in the later half of 2025 will be eager to transact at the start of the year because we're looking at pretty nice, good rates right now, comfy rates. Multiple offers will return for well-priced move-in ready homes in desirable locations. Okay, December is the window of opportunity, the last chance for buyers to negotiate without heavy competition. Now, obviously, it might be in January too, but we're seeing there's a high chance it's December. For sellers, it means serious buyers only. Utilize the December slow period not as a vacation, but as crucial time for strategic planning and curve jumping to gain an advantage in 2026. Strategy for sellers: lead with equity, not rates. Shift the conversation from the high rate of their next loan to the massive equity they've built up in their current home. We talk about the largest portion of home buyers in 2024. It was not millennial anymore. Obviously, it's not Gen Z yet, but it's the Gen X, 40, 50, 60-year-old. Those are the biggest portion of home buyers in 2024 when the data came out. And the reason it's that, usually it's millennials, okay? First-time home buyers would be the largest portion. But that happened last year because these people have equity. They have equity. So those are the bigger portion of buyers right now. It doesn't make too big of a difference this year too. The buyers that you are going out there usually have some sort of equity already. So that's why we're saying shift the conversation from the high rate of the next loan to the massive equity that they've built up in their current home. Show them how much cash they bring to the table, significantly reducing the principal of their next mortgages. So when we're talking about a $900,000 home, not in a great school, it's just a median home price in LA County, $900,000. Then you talk about 20% down, which make it $180,000, which also means you have to take a loan of $720,000. That's crazy a lot. We're talking about $4,500 just on the mortgage itself. You add everything in, it could be around $6,000 payment every month. Normal people can't afford that. How could someone afford that? You gotta make $250 a year. But the buyers who actually buy it, they have equity with their previous home, they might be taking a loan of $400 to $500, not $700,000. Okay? So those are gonna be the buyers, and they need to sell to buy. So that's still going to happen in 2026. Realistic pricing advise sellers that this is not an aggressive appreciation market. It's not 2021, my friends. Okay, it's very hard to have 2021 anymore, where it's so easy to sell homes. But that doesn't mean you're selling at a loss because you build up equity. At this current market, pricing realistically from day one to avoid chasing the market down with price cuts in January would be a pretty nice strategy. Okay, strategy for buyers, interest rates, the new normal. Educate clients that the 6% range is the long-term normal. 2.5 to 3.5 is actually abnormal. It's not going to go back to that. So focus on helping them calculate actual monthly payments and assess affordability based on this reality. So debt to income ratio, 28%, 33%, maximum 38%. Do you understand what that means? Maybe 10 years ago, that's not that important. But right now, where home affordability continues to be an issue, prices are high, debt to income ratio has been one of the ways that we help a lot of first-time home buyers figure out how much they should pay monthly for a home that they're buying that is very, very highly priced. They have to understand what debt to income ratio is. If the agent don't understand that, even worse, you're not helping them understand how much they can afford. So tell your clients you are securing a home now with far less competition than we'll see in January. You can refi the rates later, but you're locking in a non-bidding war price today. So that's the strategy for buyers. Get ready to move. Encourage pre-approval updates and finalize the list of non-negotiables must have. When the early spring market hits, buyers must be ready to view, offer, and remove contingencies quickly. Not really want to remove contingency. That I would take away, not necessarily the deal. But your buyer you have to help your buyer. It is actually your responsibility, not your buyer's responsibility. They don't know what to do. But you need to be guiding them, assisting them when it comes to what's the list of non-negotiables I have to have? What's my affordability? What am I looking at? Because your preparations today would help them be a lot more accurate, straightforward, and have the confidence to buy, maybe this month or next month, and they can make the decision quickly. When they're only starting next month and the market's getting hot, they're going to miss out on a lot of deals because they're not ready yet. Okay, a couple news on real estate monthly column. CAR actually made a point to share this news again and again. It's not new news. Leases and Section 8 vouchers. So if you don't know yet, which most likely most of you would know, California law prohibits rental housing providers from discriminating against tenants based on their source of income, including those who use housing subsidies, aka the most have you heard of, Section 8 housing choice vouchers, down payment assistance, or security deposit assistance. So acceptance of Section 8 vouchers is mandatory. You cannot tell them Section 8, nope, we do not accept that. You're going to get in trouble. This means you cannot deny, you cannot discourage, or impose different terms or condition on someone simply because they use a rental assistance program to help pay rent. So when you actually put a lease on rent spree on Zillow, a lot of people might contact you, and then there's going to be maybe 10-20% on your rental property. They say, hey, do you accept Section 8, blah, blah. Please don't say no. It's as simple as that. You actually have to consider them just as a regular tenant, okay? Whether you overall you reject or accept them, it's a different story. But when they wanted to talk to you, they want to send the application in, yes, you're open to that, okay? And in fact, Quano always had something to say about Section 8 rentals, right?
Section 8 is a better tenant. Reason is very simple. Once you get the increase of rent for Section 8 to the regular tenant, because 60% of their rent is subsidized. When you increase to the market rent, you don't say anything. For regular tenant, if you increase the rent to the the market rent. The tenant will give the landlord a lot of trouble, okay? A lot of trouble. I would strongly, and section eight tenant usually are more stable because they are afraid. And they are actually afraid to be evicted because they apply for the voucher, it's not that easy. They're a long way in line. Okay, so because if they get canceled. So usually, I would strongly suggest that the issue on you is if somebody bring you, this is my Alamo check. And you treat it as a source of income. Based on the rule, it is a source of income. A person got divorced if they have the judgment for the alimony and they have the return check stated, they actually get received the alimony payment, you have to treat it as a source of income. And not the divorce single, there's no job, no income, alimony is not income. Actually, alimony is
Thank you, Kwan. So next on, there's going to be changes on forms. There's a whole, well, every year at the end in December, there's going to be a whole list of changes from the CAR on forms. This is not it. We're going to show you that on January next year on the updates on forms. However, we receive an announcement on the changes to RID, BRBC, and RLA forms, specifically to reflect referral compensation. And their main point is to, encourage further transparency to customers. Meaning, hey, in future, your buyer and sellers are going to know, is there any referral fee being paid to another agent for this transaction, okay? So a little bit more about that we're going to talk about in future and all the changes on the form, usually in January next year. So please make sure that you come in on January's office meeting. It's going to be a long office meeting. So going on, new confirming loan limits for 2026. We got the information out now. Overall, an increase by 3.26%, where the loan limit previously is 806,500. Now it's increased up to 832. And for high cost areas, 1.21 mil going up to 1.25 mil. Okay. The increase is actually lower this year for conforming loan limits. This year, the increase is actually lower than the past 2 years. That also is an indication where home value is actually not increasing this year. It's pretty going down. So loan limits increase, but very low. Sign a listing. So we got this case, which Kwan wanted to share, is if you sign a listing, have you ever thought about what kind of insurance coverage does the property have? Right? Kwan, you want to say something?
Couple who come in, they walk upstairs, see the go upstairs, and open the property, and you got listed, and then go there. Probably and say, what can I do? What should I do? And immediately I ask her, first of all, it's not covered by your ENO. The ENO insurance does not cover property insurance. Okay. That's not covered. Okay. So you rely on owner's insurance. Okay. The owner insurance, if owner is purchasing a Alga, it does not have liability insurance. They need to buy a supplemental insurance for the liability cover. So whenever you take a listing, you need to ask what kind of insurance they have. If they only have California Fair, they purchase supplemental liability insurance. The reason is what is even if it's not open house, if an agent use a lockout to open it, okay, bring their client and state it, they got injured. It could be a balcony, it could be because there's a step down, which they do not see the step. If the person got twisted, is 40 to 50 years old, you're very lucky. If that person is 85 years old, you got big problem. Okay? When they fell, it's not that easy. So you need to make sure they have liability insurance. Okay? Now, you held an open house. Okay? Let me ask you a simple question. That person got injured, okay? Was this just twisted ankle, or, you know, you go to hospital and so forth, the top $3,000 to $5,000 is easy to take care. But who is responsible? The owner doesn't have insurance, who is responsible? Okay, who is gonna pay that $5,000? Huh? Okay, you're having an open house, somebody come in and walk on the balcony, okay, and twist the ankle. The medical bill is $3,000 to $5,000. Insurance is California, okay. Who's gonna pay that $3,000 to $5,000? Huh? Alan?
Agent.
So Sal will go and pay agent? We better understand that. Especially if the structure is unstable. And you need to actually have a disclaimer upfront first. Okay. Now, you do need to understand. The twisted angle may be real, maybe not, okay, maybe not. But usually it happens during the December period. Okay.
Yeah. They need money to buy presents.
Yeah. It happens. So, this. And we heard, agent, they got followed.
Mm.
So, you have, when you're doing open house, generally speaking, you strongly suggest, doesn't matter if you're male or female, that somebody know where you are. Okay? Make sure somebody know where you are. Okay? All have a buddy list. Okay? Strongly suggest. Okay?
Right. Thank you, Kwan. Finally, is your buyer and seller really who they say they are? Is Johnny really Johnny? Okay. So always verify the identity of your clients when taking listings or writing up an RPA offer for them. Please take the extra step by getting a copy of their photo ID. Also, a great idea to ask a couple more questions to verify their identity. There has been many identity fraud and scams related case, and it's better to take preventive measures.
We actually have a couple of agents. Actually, as the seller, this other item. Sign the list. The item, for example, if it's a photo ID, driver license or. The other thing they're asking. Copy of. Also, copy of the access system. So, if you have a couple of pages, a standard.
Due to the shutdown, we still haven't have any new homes updates data getting available. So we're hoping next month we could see something, but until yesterday, actually, we still double checked, no new homes data for now. So we're still stuck on the data 2 months ago, fortunately. But with that being said, we are seeing more and more activities of transactions with new homes. That's interesting to know. Not just our own brokerage in terms of closing numbers, where we see more new homes for the past 2 months. We are also seeing more activities. More agents are bringing their buyers to look at new homes in November, assuming December would be pretty good too, and October. So there's been more activity when it comes to buyers looking for new homes and actually transactions on it. There's also it also coincides with the other thing where there's been better deals with new homes. And when I get any new homes updates, I usually want to share with you all. Sean would want to share with you all. So that being said, Sean would also have some updates to give you all, and the events as well, and R4. Thank you.
So this is we have more grand opening houses, new homes compared to last month, and then here's city and the names of the new homes. And the deals I want to mention actually this morning, Central Community update with me. They're saying this is the last week. I mean, until December 10th. This is the last week they have promotions for this year. So who can purchase by that time and close as core by the end of this month. And then Central Community El Monte, they do have a 10K price discount and also include everything. So washer, dryer, solar. Yeah, so if you have any problems, questions regarding to that El Monte Central Community, Brookhaven, please talk to Tom.
One thing though, whatever they say over here, the deal, negotiate on top of it. Okay, negotiate on top of it, especially during this time.
Yeah, and also a lot of builders mentioned that this is the last month they have deals. I mean, for this year, and then this is the best time to buy if they have the best deal for buyers. Okay. And Troy Point, Ontario, they do have a buyer incentive 45K and 2 special homes. They do have a 50K discount. And this is the Eastville one. They do have a really big discount for buyers, and they do have a good rate, and then they have a limited time offer. For quantitative buyers, they have a $70,000 for qualified buyers, and they can close by the end of this week, and I mean to purchase and close escrow by the end of this month. And if you help them to buy, they do offer a $5,000 bonus for agents as well. And Fontana, oh, there's a mistake. So for Fontana New Homes, they just opened, but the BAC, the commission, they have $12,000 for agents, and you can help them to close as core by the end of this month. They offer $3,000 more. So total is $15,000, not 2%, $15,000. And they do offer 30 to 40K flat cash for buyers. So that's a better incentive. Metro Sheng Home, they have 4% commission, and they also have a $50,000 incentives for their mortgage. And if you have outside lender, they do have $45,000. Placentia, they're offering $30,000 buyer commission, and they do have ready to move in. They have a price reduce. So if you want to know details and their updated price, please look for me. Okay, talk to me. And El Monte Mirasol, they only have 1 home left. So if you can help them to close by the end of this 23rd. This month they have a $50,000 price reduce, and they are offering 3% commission.
It's a model home, so what they included is the solar. If I believe in the email message, they included the solar in it too. So So no solar cost being added on top of this. It's going to be included in the sale. Miracell usually is pretty aggressive when it comes to price cuts and negotiations. So don't be afraid, talk to them, find out, what's the price that your buyer wants. Go try it out.
And there's one they don't have they don't have price yet, but Ontario KB Homes they will open another new home community single family next week. So we will I'll talk to them to have a broker card, but if you want to have the first hand information, you can always ask me to have their sales contact information and to know more about this. That's a single family. Yeah. Okay, so this is the deal for December. And for this month, we do have a training, Charlie, real estate workshop, and then you can scan QR code. This is Zoom meeting, and R4. So R4, we have early board price. The early board original price is $799, and we do have a premier broker discount. So we have you're paying $100 less. So your price is $999. But early board deadline is January 7th, next month.
Some of you might ask, what is actually R4? Like any other large real estate brands, brokerage brands in this country, usually RE/MAX also have this added advantage where we have an annual event, a convention / seminar / networking / award ceremonies that is all jumbled up into one thing, which we call R4. It always happens, except for the one time in Florida during the pandemic. It's usually in Vegas. It usually, gets organized, and the event is usually held between, the end of February to early March. And this year, usually they would have an early bird, and the early bird pricing would be up to January 7, 2026. So for you who are contemplating whether you want to join R4 or not, whether you want to receive your award on the large stage on R4 or not, you have until January 7th to actually decide before the early bird pricing is gone. The other thing is you also want to decide on the hotel booking and so on, or you just really, you don't want to think too much about this and you don't know how to do it or what to do. You have a lot of questions about it. Talk to Sean or Mia. They would know a lot of information about that and they can help you out with that.
Yeah, and I believe the best overnight is 24th. 24th, yeah.
24th?
Yeah, 24th.
Yeah, 24. Usually people don't go for all 4 or 5 days. They usually would go 3 days, 2 nights, or 2 days, 1 night just to receive the award. And in actuality, most agents actually go for 2 to 3 things. Number one, they are expecting to receive an award with RE/MAX. They're going to go upstage and receive that. Number two, that's for branding purposes, self-achievement and so on. Number two, they want to attend the convention. We have the RE/MAX Marketplace where a lot of real estate related product services will be there so that you can have an idea what's going on. And number three, they also have the Global Referral Exchange Program, meaning a global exchange program where you're going to see RE/MAX in at least, usually we have 50, 60 countries in there. RE/MAX agents from worldwide coming in for networking purposes. So those are the main reasons. They also have classes. They have the morning sessions, usually guest speakers.
Yeah.
We had Magic Johnson one year talking about motivation and so on. So that's actually it's a jam-packed real estate event. And if you want to know more, Dr. Sean and Mia. Yep. And yeah, that's it. Well, it's right now, Brian Buffini Mastermind Summit, Las Vegas. And that's basically it.
Also,
Yes.
McFerry training for January day is in Garden Group. So if you still want to join, we still have that discount price, and you can talk to me for registration for that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is the last meeting of the year, so do expect a little bit differences. I do want to talk to everyone about this. Number one, next year, January, February, March, market changes usually happen a lot during this 3 months. So be ready for any market changes that might happen in the next 3 months versus what you see over here. The contrast might be high. Number two, every year, 2026, a new year's coming in. So also expect that we're gonna have some guest speakers speaking in the coming months for the office meeting. And also, what's it called again? The calendar states important events we're gonna launch in January. So January's office meeting is gonna be pretty jam-packed and important. Please remember that. And finally, I guess we could say it's Juan, Rory, Sunny, we're actually thinking about, different innovative ways to work on training, support, and so on. So do expect some changes in 2026 for the better.
One of the things I would strongly suggest, we must use ChatGPT and we must use Gemini.
Those are AI tools, Gemini 3 as well.
Because you'll find, fact that they're asking ChatGPT everything, they're asking Gemini 3 everything. Whatever they think of, they ask it, and you'll be surprised, okay? I just do a search, this morning, okay? I asked, Gemini 3, I buy a house, and I buy a house in December 2025, okay? Would the housing price in Chino will appreciate on 2026? So we come up with, we start basically gathering from, all different. The most important, on the bottom of the question, is attach a YouTube video.
Oh, here.
Yes, here. So here's a question.
That one asked,
Question,
the house in the city of Chino Hills, California, appreciate in 2026. They gave a couple points and then they gave you a video recommendation.
This guy is Thomas Ryan, okay? You probably know, right? Is he a big agent?
Full time, I think he used to be a veteran.
Okay, I checked on the production on MS. In the past 12 months, okay? He has 4 sold listings. 4 lease listings. Okay, there's a couple active. Only Roy TV in Chino. Only Roy TV in Chino. Okay, only Roy TV. And in 2025, we only have 2 sold, he represents by. And there's a couple of these he represents. That's about it. But he has been consistent on posting on YouTube, right? Right, not consistent once every month or once every couple months. He does regularly do, market session. That, and he do the recording himself, but the thing is this. He has relevant and put it on YouTube. Gemini 3 actually is by Google, right? And Google on YouTube. So one of the main places they are searching for information is on YouTube. Okay? So just imagine, okay? You're farming in Chino. Okay? Somebody asked a question, okay, should I sell my Chino house now or wait until next year, right? Okay.
So how do we get the videos to be posted on what the ChatGPT?
First of all, you need to do it first, right?
Of course.
This is considered a content video, and they have relevant words. So you can see that the market data report, Chino, and so forth, all the people are basic on the system. Okay, and he does regularly, either every month or every 2 months on market status and so forth. Okay, obviously we post property. Okay. So you need to have a factory, number one thing, you need to have a channel. Just imagine one of the people who received your postcard, okay? And they go to ChatGPT, in order to sell in Chino Hill, what are the things that need to happen? Okay? And it just so happened you have a video basically. To sell your house, you need to prepare all this before doing that, right? So, you come back. And I will strongly suggest for you to do your market study before you actually pay YouTube about $100, so you can get a view go up. Because that only have 4,000 or 5,000 views. Yeah. It's not like, but it's very geographic, it's very, very tough. Okay. So I would strongly suggest, okay? And take a look, you need to know how to use it, because how many of you, okay, raise your hand, okay? In the past 12 months, never used ChatGPT or never used Gemini 3? Never used it in the past 12 months. Raise your hand. Everybody use it.
I didn't use it.
Almost use it every day. If you use it every day, so is your fun. And because that's one thing I found out is basically it's all the people we're dealing with, they're getting extremely more sophisticated. Okay? Every time they have file client and so forth, they are more extreme. Yeah. They're basically asking everything from ChatGPT. Okay. So I would strongly suggest, okay, you need to learn how to use it, and you need to put certain content that is relevant, allow it to pop up much easier. And it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. Okay. He has this channel at least 5 years. He's telling me. I know, that's what I'm saying. He is not, and if you look at the production. Not that high.
I'm not.
1113个 video.
Okay.
Yeah.
A video I don't have.
To you, only 6 transactions.
Okay.
To you, it will be different.
What Kwame trying to say is, he tried to say he spent so much time on the video, but didn't generate enough leads for him to get that. Yeah, so, from whose point of view, it's more of a future point of view. But in order for you to get more business work, at least maintain your current referral, you need to do this.
Actually, it's a little more than that. Actually, it's a little more than that. I'll give you a very good. example. Okay, look. Because we talked about doing the rental 2 years ago, right? So we do a couple and few, right? In the past few months, we started doing regularly. We really spend some time doing it for the past 4 months.
This is right now.
Yeah. Right. No. Okay, no. The biggest difference is this, because he has been working for many years. Many people know, okay? The rental is seen by the person who knows. That create a positive, trusted image. So it tends to call it with confidence. That is not for you to attract the brain mind. Act for people who may heard of your name, who may receive your postcard, who may see you at the open house. This just gives them a reassurance. You are trust qualified professional. Can you imagine how much impact you will do? That's the goal. Okay. especially for geographic farming, it's more important. Okay, if you're farming in certain area, it's even more important, okay? Because first of all, it's not expensive, you just, that's it. Okay? Second of all, okay, then, let me ask you this question. Do you want to see, if I ask a question, do you want to see it show up with Alex and TV?
No. They should, huh? Because they do the video.
It's not based on their production, it's not based on the content. Okay? It's based on the relevant words. Okay? So you need to know what you want to put, and all you have to do is just ask the ChatGPT or Gemini 3, what kind of content video I need to put in order for people who is buying a home want to see it. So, okay? So. Right? Yes, correct. But believe it or not, the ratio is actually pretty high. Okay, that's why. Anyway. Even if you don't want to do the video, you need to use ChatGPT and Gemini 3 because your client is asking it all different questions. Okay, so you need to know how to respond. Okay. Anyway, 等一下12点我的 guest 是韦小宝，接生会，如果你要参加的话，12点在上面。
我很讨厌，
没有他的，就是聊天。Okay.
谁想问什么他就答什
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
么。一方面看嘛，